Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Wakfu episode 22. Last time we saw how they defeat Igor, if I'm not mistaken, that is the correct name, and hopefully the correct pronunciation. And yes, I think it's a pun in Igor, the assistant of Dr. Frankenstein. But yeah, they defeated, and you will learn quite a neat technique. This kind of new way of throwing portals, and of course, this makes it even more faster than before. So yes, that was an interesting way of training in such amount of time, in such short amount of time. He learned something new and very advanced from what I can see. And of course, we are going to see a Dofus. And yeah, as I was kind of correct, they don't lay eggs per se. If they are in love with somebody else, and my guess is a god in this case, the Dofu appears, and this is the world building that we have for the Dofus. And yes, the original was because one of the elder dragons was in love with the goddess that created this world, the Wakfu world. So yeah, that's what I get from what I have read in your comments. Hopefully that is the correct information, and I'm just mixing everything around. Hopefully. But yes, now we are going to see the next episode, which is going to be probably the next step in Hugo's training. So yeah, let's just cut this and watch the next episode, shall we? Oh, so I was wrong. It's going to be a Pompom episode. Okay. Rubilax. Oh, this is more interesting. What? What? This is a delirious dream, right? The second time we saw. Okay, I wasn't expecting this in an episode. Holy! Wait, is that the limit? Suffering quietly. Okay, I did not expect this change so quickly. Oh, he's. Oh.
Attention là, le caillou. Voilà, c'est bien mon grand, passe à côté. Faut bien regarder où on met les pieds, hein. Parce que dans ton état, la moindre chute peut faire très mal.
Okay. I kind of feel the.
Après ça, tu peux pas faire un peu attention. Si tu veux y rester, continue comme ça, t'es sur la bonne voie.
Those are. Oh.
Ça doit faire mal ça. Allez, arrête maintenant. Si tu y restes, j'y reste. Le maître, oui, c'est ici qu'il repose. Arrête de faire comme si tu le savais pas. Non, j'ai compris. C'est encore un mirage. Je ne pourrais pas avoir une fois de plus.
What? Okay.
Prends ça dans les miches, maudit.
Oh, that must hurt like a beast.
Parfois, je me dis que j'aurais
Oh. Oh.
C'est incroyable. C'est bien le tombeau de mon défunt maître.
Oh, this is getting interesting.
Ici, un stack tactique. Bref. Ça fait des plombs que j'essaye de te le dire. C'est pas possible d'être aussi.
Oh, well, you finally got it.
Je me demande ce qui a bien pu arriver à cet endroit.
Okay. What? Holy! Those are souls? Well, what? Wait, what?
Maître, mais
Okay, yes! What the hell is going on?
Mort, oui, je sais, tu l'as déjà dit.
How does this work? What the hell is this? This is a very elaborate handshake.
Prêt pour le grand final?
What? He's exhausted, yes.
Crois-moi, Pinpin, le cœur d'une femme est bien plus solide que son arc.
Yes!
Attention.
Okay.
Max vous corrige.
Enfin, je retrouve mon disciple, celui qui ne doute de rien.
Et ça tombe bien parce qu'on vient de retrouver Rubilax.
À moins que ce ne soit lui qui nous ait retrouvés.
What?
Quoi?
Oh, of course.
Il a pas l'air très content.
Bien, ouvre grand tes oreilles. Pour acheter tes
Yeah, you have to fight that thing.
Il faut que tu forces le respect du chouchou que tu gardes, que tu l'impressionnes. Que j'impressionne Rubilax?
affronte-le et bats-le sur son propre terrain. Chaque chouchou possède des habiletés particulières. Rubilax est un guerrier. Si tu le frappes plus fort qu'il ne te frappe, tu gagnes. C'est simple, c'est réglo, c'est beau, c'est yup.
Me racheter ou mourir en essayant, voilà mon choix.
Un choix de yup. Salut.
Holy.
Ce bon vieux Goultard.
Holy, he's scared.
Oh, tu sais, la mort, c'est très surfait.
Holy. Okay, the buster is impressive.
Désespoir, mort, mauvaise humeur, chouchou du carnage, manifeste.
Oh, he's going to release him from the sword.
Tiens, maître, une dernière chose. Quoi qu'il arrive, ne me venez pas en aide.
Okay, I want to see his real form.
Je te savais, idiot.
Oh! Wait, what? I thought it was more imposing.
Mais il est tout petit, ça risque d'être...
I don't think you should trust that.
Est-ce que je t'ai appris, Pipo?
Yes, exactly. But I actually expect it to be huge. Oh! Holy! Oh!
Je vais me faire une armée en
Oh!
à commencer par Ombrage et j'irai rendre visite à ta copine Évangéline. Je vais en faire
Oh! Now those are bigger words for him. What the? What was that? Okay, he has become more imposing. Holy! Oh! Okay! Look at that fight! I love it! Oh! I always love that effect! I know it's cheesy, but I love it! Holy! Oh, yes! Okay, that slow motion is great! Holy, he's barely able to move! I don't think that's what Master mean.
Si ça, c'est pas la preuve que les yop aussi. Bien
What?
joué, Pinpin. Et bonne chance pour ta nouvelle vie.
Et en haut, là au-dessus de l'œil, ça me gratte.
Des désirs sont des arbres.
Holy, the size of that! Oh, it's making him bigger. Yes, so big that so massive that he cannot withstand his own weight. Yes. Oh, that is genius. Oh, well, that's so genius, but yeah.
Ah, non. Aide-moi.
Yeah.
Mais non, tu pourrais pas mourir dans une cible.
Si je peux.
Plus qu'à retourner dans ta petite prison alors.
Oh, he released his original form. Oh.
Eh, tu m'avais pas dit que t'étais un gros dur. Pipoun. Oh, 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 oh.
Oh. Okay, this is a huge character growth for him.
Et qu'est-ce qu'on va faire maintenant?
On retrouve les copains et je me concentre sur ce que je fais le mieux.
Oh, okay, I like the redesign.
Mettre des raclés aux gros méchants.
And that's it. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, okay. I just noticed that the small conscious guy is having the same cape. I am still dubious as to watch the entirety of the animation. Uh, okay, let's leave it like this, and you will tell me next time, okay? But anyway, yes, a fascinating episode, a lot of character growth for Pompom, and a lot of questions because yes, there are several things I do not understand. Hopefully, you will help me with that. But anyway, let's just cut this small portion and of course watch it again, shall we? See you in a bit because yes, I'm gonna watch this again because it was a very exciting fight. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the 22nd episode of Wakfu, the first season. And yes, now we saw. I was completely mistaken, of course, at the beginning. I thought it was going to be like the second portion of a Hugo's training or something like that. But no, it was Pompom's turn to shine. Yes, even the title card reflect that. And yeah, I now understand a little bit more of Pompom. Yeah, like the attire that he wear, it was actually the symbol of the order that he represents. And of course, by getting rid of that, he just gave up on his order and himself. But then, let's go little by little and in order. We start, of course, with this weird dream sequence. I wasn't entirely sure of what the hell was I watching. I was certain that it was a fantasy, but why this fantasy? I am. It is confusing, but it's entertaining nonetheless. Why a dance? Why? Okay, yeah. The aspects of this scene that I really enjoy. Of course, I love how Evangeline looks in here. Yeah, she looks beautiful, look gorgeous. It's wow. Jaw dropping. Yeah, she looks way too good in that dress. And yeah, I know Evangeline's probably my favorite female character because yeah, she looks just gorgeous. And yes, of course, we saw Pompon in kind of a more elegant version of his own clothes. I always say that black is always more elegant than most of the colors, perhaps all of the colors put together. That is my point of view. So yes, he looks very elegant, and I love the design of the black attire. It doesn't change a bit, but just the addition of said color, it works wonders for it. Yeah, this partaking this little kind of tango, and yeah, very weird tango because again, the attitude in this dream of Evangeline's attitude in this dream doesn't change that much. Of course, it's ridiculous to see them dancing because I don't see any situation in which they will dance like this. But the little moments, the little faces that she did, the attitude, even the dance, the way she moves, is her attitude. It's like her. So yeah, again, perhaps I'm taking too much for such a small scene, but I love how Pompon really knows how Evangeline behaves, and he likes her because yeah, I don't think he's even lying. I think he loves her for everything that she is, not because of her body. Yes, her body speaks volumes, her body helps a lot, but her attitude too. You can be attracted to somebody, but to be really in love with a said person, you need to appreciate every aspect of said person. So yes, perhaps I'm taking too much of a small scene, but I think this reflects tons and tons of attitude from Pompon and from Evangeline. And the way they break the dream is because, yes, again, the bow that is destroyed by Pompon like 4 episodes or 3 episodes ago. Yes, I have read your comments, and of course, the confirmation comes in this episode that if you break the bow of a crab, it's one of the biggest offenses that you can do to them. It's the biggest insult for them. So yes, the humiliation, everything, but it's still this again going back and taking a lot from a scene. Uh, Even if she sees him, and I mean Evangeline sees him as a potential love interest, as somebody that she really loves and appreciates, even though he breaks something so valuable for her, it speaks volumes of the sentiments that both of them have for each other. Again, perhaps I'm digging too deep into some scenes in the past, but I think those are the most important ones when you kind of catch the details that they don't tell you just in an obnoxious way, but they subtly hinted at that in all the scenes. Of course, we move forward that he wakes up and he's angry against himself. He's sad, but of course, he's also blaming somebody else. In this case, Ruby. Okay, you make me do this, but Ruby says something important. You release me. You allow me to gain control. And yes, we did what we should have done. We kick the prince's ass. And he deserved it. And yes, I agree with Rubilax in that regard. He deserved to be taught a lesson, but not in that way, because you hurt somebody else that didn't deserve to be hurt. Um, so yes, but he cannot take it anymore, and he's taking the coward route, the failure route, because he gave up everything. He gave up everything in this kind of sad state in which he is. He just buries literally Rubilax in his prison and goes away. He just walks. I don't think in that moment he knew where he was going. He just wanted to walk. He wanted to, I don't know, redeem himself through pain. Because my guess is we were seeing the frontier between Sarida Kingdom, of the Sarida, yeah, the Sarida Kingdom, and I don't know, the desert or something like that. I don't know if there is a kingdom there or it's just desert. Yes, we saw this little transition in which, of course, desert usually means a place of suffering, a place of endurance that you really need to endure a lot of stuff in said place. And especially, I love the contrast between the green side with a huge tree. Even if there weren't a lot of trees, this represents an easy life, an easier life, because you have green. Therefore, you can grow plants, or you can eat something from the ground, or you have shadows, so you can hide from the sun, and etc. etc. And the desert, the clear difference, because now you are going to enter in a place in which it's hard to find food, it's hard to survive, but you need to do so because you need to redeem yourself, because you did something awful to somebody that you really love. So yes, I love these little messages that are hidden in the background of this series. Of course, we go to the desert. He keeps walking and walking, and I think he's so desperate for communication, or desperate for something that make him go further, that he started to hallucinate his own consciousness. This little pompon that appears there, even drinking something, because yes, he desired to drink something. And of course, this little battle. Of course, you need to see everything, and he's trying to protect him because he is himself, and if he dies, the conscience dies, of course. And we realize that the desert, or this desert, was the last place, or the place in which his master was buried. He went there by pure instinct. He didn't know he was going there. He just went. He just walked. And of course, he knows where his master is buried. He knows this. And he went there instinctively. And that is my guess, that's what he was trying to say during the animation. um, so yeah, he goes there and they find this monumental tomb. I thought the columns that were around this place were kind of other tombs and several masters before them, and this is the resting place of all the masters of the guardians of the Shushos. But no, it was just a tomb, or at least I just perceived it as a tomb. He was telling that, oh, sorry, master, because I wasn't strong enough. Every single time after you left me, it was just mockery. And yes, we saw several times in which was he, I was an idiot. I was trying to look for another word, but there isn't. He was just an idiot. He tried to break up a fight. He failed miserably, but well, luckily they laughed so hard about him that yeah, that they just enter the bar and have a drink together as friends. So yeah, he kind of succeeded in the end, not in the way he wanted. He failed to save a princess, or not a princess, a damsel in distress, he called it. But it was a monster, and I don't know how the hell do you not know there's a thing. But it's Pompom again. The other one, oh yes, he tried to save a village from a bandit, but he ended up burning the entire village, and of course he was poorly received. And of course he said, okay, but still we have good times, or at least I have good times. When he met Hugo, Amelia, Ruel, and of course Evangeline. And yes, a little parenthesis here. I really love the animation, the small animation and the presentation of the misadventures of Pompom, of Sir Pompom. I really, really love that little aspect of the animation. Uh, we go further, of course. He finished his little tale, but he is interrupted by a laugh. And this laugh apparently is the master's laugh, because yeah, he's funny. What he's saying is funny, that he failed so hard. And my guess his master is used to these kind of failures, or to this kind of attitude from him. So yeah, we see that this tomb just opened up. It smells terrible, according to Pompom, and the masters appear. The master appeared with alongside a lot of souls, but what I assume they were souls. Uh, so yeah, the masters appear, and he's alive when he shouldn't be. And this is something I'm really eager for you to explain to me, because I do not understand how this works. Uh, my assumption is that in this world, life and death, in certain regards, or for certain people, is different. Let's say. You have told me that the god that represents these guys is kind of an idiot. That the other gods always make fun of him or something like that. And my guess is that the god doesn't understand the concept of death, and that's why it doesn't affect him, the master. Or the master is so badass that he can defeat death. Or perhaps it's just an illusion, a very strong illusion, but an illusion nonetheless. But there are things that tell me that this is not an illusion. The master is really alive. Or perhaps they did not understand death and he wasn't dead, and they bury him just because. There are so many possibilities. And of course, if it's not a spoiler, please explain this to me, because I'm still trying to wrap my head around the concept of the bastard being alive. Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of, it's hard for me to understand something like this, because I don't know the world enough for me to be able to say, oh, this happens. Yeah, let's go to that. The master is alive and he's back, and of course they have the most elaborated handshake I have ever seen in my life. But of course, Pompom is exhausted, and he ends up fainting, because he hasn't eat, he hasn't drink, he hasn't even rest while moving towards this tomb. We advance, and yes, we saw them in the top of not a mountain, because one of these weird rock formations that we saw from the beginning. And he's eating a huge ass insect. And apparently, yes, they eat a lot. These guys eat a lot because at the end we see almost everything gone. And of course, he's saying we need to face the facts. Even if Pompom gave up in a certain moment, even if he didn't want to deal with Roubaks anymore, because yes, he was defeated, he was possessed by Roubaks, and he hurt somebody he loved. Even though it's like that, he needs to learn that yes, you can be hit by life, you can be hit by the obstacles that you will be facing, but that is not the way of success. The way of success is not being hit once, that you avoid every single hit and you will never be hit. That is not a way of success, because it's impossible to be avoiding every single hit that lives throw at you. It's the way you deal with said hits. If you get punched by life, if you get up, you are growing as a character. You are better as a person. You will be a lot stronger next time. So yes, that is the way of dealing life, and I love the attitude of the master. That yes, everybody deserves a second opportunity. Everyone, and we need to take demon by the horns in this case and defeat him. And yes, we go in the next day. The master is chilling just in the cranium of this huge creature, relaxing, and of course, Pompon is just dragging everything, trying to find Roubaks, because yes, they are going to take action now. And the way of defeating Roubaks, because Roubaks is a brawler, not a person, he's a demon who really enjoys fights, who really enjoys, the feeling of fighting. The only way to beat him, or the only way to earn Roubaks' respect, is to beat him. And so yes, he is going to beat Roubaks. And in this way, he's going to earn his place as one of the guardians of the Shusho. Of course, Roubaks is so anxious because he wants revenge against Pompon. But I love, and yes, of course, I noticed that he possessed the freaking little caterpillar that appeared at the beginning of the episode. Uh, he is just so angry and he's ready to attack. But in the moment he sees the master, he's just like a coward. Just how strong is the master? And I would love to see that strength. And another thing I noticed, that he kind of bring out a sword from nothing. My guess is that part of the Shusho, the guardians of the Shusho training. But it's a broken sword. My guess is that was the last place in which Roubaks was, imprisoned. And when you release him from the prison and put him in another one, this thing is broken or something like that. That is my guess. And of course, he just obliterates this demon form of the caterpillar in seconds with a broken sword, which is very, very impressive for a dead guy. Anyway, yes, we saw all of these, and they are going to release Roubaks so he can, in this case, Pompom, face him in his real form. And of course, at the beginning, he was not very intimidating. He's a small creature, but he's very strong. And I love the fact that every time that you hit Roubaks, he becomes bigger and stronger. Of course, that makes him a very intimidating foe for anybody, really, for anybody. We saw this fight, a very exciting fight, because at the beginning, Roubaks is just obliterating Pompom and even send these little minions. But something snapped when he's fighting the rock minions of Roubaks. Once he said that he's going to hurt or transform Evangeline into a sexy ghoul, in Roubaks' own words, he snaps and his eyes went completely, not said black, white in this case, and destroys the freaking army of the stone Roubaks within seconds in a very spectacular way. But then he snaps again into his own consciousness. My guess is he's in a state in which he just thinks of fighting. And he's pretty good at it. But again, when he tried to fight Roubaks in front, well, one on one, again we see the problem that Roubaks is still growing and growing and becoming stronger and stronger. And yes, the way to say, okay, you need to use your head. I don't think he meant literally that using his head. He could have been using his fist to punch Roubaks in a point in which he was so big, so massive, that he wasn't going to be able to move. And he was going to be buried in sand. And no matter how strong or how big he was, he won't be able to get out of there. And, well, he will die because he will be... Nobody will be punching, but he will drink or eat so many sand that will not be able to breathe. So yes, a fascinating fight in which, of course, Roubaks surrendered to Pompom. Because yes, there is a way for you to survive if you go back to the prison. And yes, he go back voluntarily. And my guess is that now he respects Pompom more. Oh, I didn't know you were so tough. And yes, they go back, and I love this little moment, this little iteration between Roubaks and Pompom. Because yes, before that it was just laughter, it was just mockery of Pompom. But after that, yes, he laughed. But I think it was more of a comrade laugh because yes, you're tough. You show me that you can control me. So yes, you're worthy to be my guardian. And of course, we saw that he returned to this frontier and he put again the shoes that of course carried the symbol, and since he broke or ripped apart his shirt, he used it now as a cape. And I noticed the little marks in his ears and in his face. I really want to see what is the deal with those marks, because the last words of his master was enjoy your new life. So that means something bigger in here, something that we are not given information in this episode. So yes, I want to see what is the deal next. And yes, this is a fascinating episode. I kind of see why it's some of some of you consider this your favorite episode, because yes, it's fascinating and it's an incredible groove from Pompom. Yeah, the last scene or the last moment I saw of the credit scene is of course the Pompom and his little conscience having the same freaking attire, let's say. It looks pretty hilarious in the little guy, but it looks pretty amazing and pretty cool in Pompom. Yes, I love the new outfit for him. Now, speaking of specific scenes that I really enjoy, of course, I speak of the beginning of the presentation that I think is happening here. But I actually love the way he is constantly speaking of Evangeline, regretting that he broke her bow, regretting that he hurt her so deeply, because, yeah, he understands the broken of the bow, what represents. So yeah, I love that moment in which he's really repentant. And yes, at the beginning he tried to blame everything on Roubaks, but I think he's still blaming himself, because yes, he is guilty of that, because of his weakness, because his pride and everything make him fuse with the shusho, and of course give in into the shusho. So yeah, I love that attitude that Pompom has, in which he is really guilty of his past deeds. Of course, this whole illusion, of course, the first illusion, the first mirage in Evangeline taking a shower, singing and almost waiting for Pompom to arrive. Uh, of course, everybody in this world imagine that, or at least at some point want to imagine that of Evangeline. Uh, but I don't know what to think of Pompom in this case, because yes, as I said before, Pompom is not just attracted physically to her, but there goes deeper than that. And of course, the second time of a mirage to happen, of course, the tomb of his masters, it wasn't so much a mirage, and he figured out once he tried to kick one of the stones of said place, and that really looks so painful, really, really painful. Because come on, oh, even if you hit your foot against your bed. It hurts, and it's not that much of a strength you put in your feet. When you really try to kick out something, you put a lot of strength in there, and that must have hurt because he's barefoot even. So yes, poor Pompon in that moment. And yeah, the tomb looks spectacular, very elaborated for a guardian. My guess is I was underestimating the guardians. They are a lot more important than I thought at the beginning. So that's why it's such an elaborate tomb for a master of these, of this order. So yes, that speaks volumes. The way the tomb is even created, the way that it can be reverted quite easily, let's say, for you to be able to get out easily. So there must be something deeper in that, in the meaning of the way of the master, the way the master was buried. Um, I don't know. That is my take on that little portion of the animation. And of course, I really love the design of Rubilax. The way it looks so imposing. And yes, it looks so cool in that moment. The way it looks, the bigger it looks, even better. And I love the design of the master. I think they look kind of similar, Pompon and the master. They look kind of similar. I don't know if there is going to be a familiar relationship between those two. There is a familiar relationship between those two. If one is the father and one is the son, but he called him master out of respect or something like that. Or perhaps they are completely different, and I don't know. The guardians look kind of similar between them. So yeah, I don't know what's the deal there, but I really love the design of said. Of the master. I really like it. And of course, the last moment, the scene I'm really intriguing is when he said that welcome to your or enjoy your new life. That is the correct way. Uh, Not enjoy. I think it was something else. Good luck with your new life. I think it was. Um, so yeah, that phrase intrigues me. That phrase intrigues me because what is with the new life? And of course, what is the deal with that word? Perhaps I'm again exaggerating the meaning of said word. Perhaps I'm taking something out of complete context. But yeah, I really want to know if it's out of context or is something a lot deeper. What else? There's something else I'm missing that I really want to talk about. Design, of course, and yes, the attitude of everybody. The attitude of everybody towards Evangeline. That everybody, and yes, I know I'm going to sound very, how to call it, very perverted, perhaps. But I kind of find it funny and intriguing that everybody wants a piece of Evangeline ass. Everybody. Eh, I'm really fascinated by that, and as I said before, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Um, so yes, a fascinated episode, a lot of character growth for Pompon, and I cannot wait for when they have to face Nox. We are very close to that. My guess is that is going to be the season finale. Uh, but I really want to see how the way that everybody has been growing is going to be portrayed in the battle against Nox. I think we're missing a little bit of growth from Amelia because even Evangeline has grown a little bit in the dream sequence she has. So yes, I want to see how everybody grows in well, not how everybody grows, how everybody is going to be when they face Nox. Because yes, this has been a fascinating series of episodes. Not everybody is connected per se, but they are kind of showing us a very fast group between this group. So yeah, I think I exhausted the topic of this episode. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you really enjoy this little reaction slash commentary. And well, the only thing I have to say is thank you for your comments, for your views, for your likes, and for your subscriptions. If you want to be a subscriber, please click on the button for subscriptions and on the bell so you can get notifications. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, the link is in the description below. So yeah, I don't have anything else to say, but thank you guys for your attention and see you on the next one. Bye!